Hi, I'm not sure who this is for, but I really had something on my mind today that I really wanted to share with you guys as I go through my own personal journey. I made some quick notes, so I'll make sure to stick to my points because sometimes I can get talkative and get off track. But conflict, I want to talk to you about conflict. And we deal with conflict all the time. It happens. Conflict in the workplace, conflict in our relationships, conflict in our family, like conflict happens. And in the workplace, you have different kinds of conflict. You have, civilian conflict, you have military, sometimes there's conflict with the people you work with, and sometimes you have civilian and military. There's just a little bit of conflict in just how your interactions are together, because the military structure is completely different from the civilian structure, and it's not always easy when they mesh together. So conflict happens in various forms. And I wanted to share with you 4 tips that really help you when it comes to conflict, help you deal with it, help you to not lose yourself and, kind of feel like a victim type deal. So the 4 things I want to share with you are, the first thing is that the person, they don't really matter. The situation is completely neutral. So whatever it is that someone has said or did, whatever has happened, it's neutral. It doesn't matter. It's not something that should matter to you. The only thing that matters is when you make it mean something, when you kind of take in that toxic emotion, and pretty much it's your thought. It's when you have a certain thought about whatever someone said or did to you. That's when it becomes something that, kind of matters. But again, they don't matter. They're neutral. And whatever they said or did doesn't matter. It's only your thought about it. So just kind of remember that you are the one that makes it mean something. They don't have any kind of power to make it mean anything to you. Another thing is to remember you have a choice. You have a choice to how you're going to interpret what they said, but you also have a choice, depending on the situation, if you're going to actually stay or if you're going to go. Hi, Anna. Or Ann, I'm sorry, mispronounced your name, and Sarah. You always have a choice of if you're going to stay or go, whether it's work, marriage. You don't have to stay in it. A lot of times when you think about staying, it's because of the benefits. And whatever the benefit is, we kind of weigh that. Is it worth staying? Like, whatever we're going to get by staying, is it worth it, or is it better just to leave? So, that's kind of what it is most times, the benefit. So just remember you have a choice. You have a choice whether you're going to stay in a situation or if you're going to go. The third thing is, what really helps is to focus on your goal. Just think about whatever your long-term goal is, whatever it is that you want in life, and focus on that. Focus on what you're trying to achieve, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever it is, focus on that. Kind of have a plan in mind of first your end goal, what you want, and then start coming up with whatever steps you need to take to get there, and focus on those. Kind of start putting that in place and getting those little milestones. That can make a world of difference. So you're not really caught in the drama of whatever's happening because you're focused on a goal, because you know the direction you're working in, and you're starting to make a plan and map out action steps to get there. And the last thing is to just remember that we can only control what we can control. External circumstances, people, we can't control that. So don't worry about that. Only worry and focus, or don't even worry, but only focus on the things that are within your control and work on those, make an impact and difference with those. So that's what I want to share with you guys tonight. If you're dealing with any kind of conflict, and I know it happens, whatever the scenario is, whether it's work, whether it's relationships, just kind of focus on those 4 things should really help you. Just remember that the person doesn't matter. I mean, not that they don't matter in life, but they don't really matter regarding how you feel. They are completely neutral. They're outside of you. The only thing that matters, hey, Henry, the only thing that matters, I'm sorry, Harry. Goodness, I'm just butchering names tonight. The only thing that matters is what you think about the person and what you make that mean. Whatever they said or whatever they did to you, you make it mean something, but they're completely neutral and don't matter. And just remember, too, that you always have a choice. You have a choice of how you're going to interpret what they say, and you have a choice if you're going to stay or if you're going to go. Like when it comes to work, you can always resign. You don't have to stay. If you choose to stay, you're choosing because, whatever your benefits are, whatever the reason is, there's something that makes you want to stay and outweigh what you're dealing with. Hey, Clifton. But there's always a choice, and the choice is yours. No one can take that from you. And focus on your goal. Like I said, that's always good to have a long-term and even short-term, but focus on the goal that you're trying to achieve and map your steps out to get there. So that way you don't get distracted by the noise that happens. It's just the noise of the situation. Focus on what you want. And remember, you can't control other people. So focus on the things that you can control and go to work on those. And I'm just glancing at my notes real quick to make sure I didn't miss anything that I wanted to mention to you guys, but that's it. Because I know a lot of times when this sort of thing happens, we tend to feel powerless, and we're not victims. And no one can make us a victim except ourselves. We have to choose. Remember that saying by Eleanor Roosevelt? No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And the same thing comes with the victim mentality. No one can make you a victim. No one can, make you powerless or feel like a victim without your consent. That's us. We choose to do that, not someone else. So I don't know who that was for, but I just wanted to share that with you guys tonight. So have a good night.